Well, welcome back, everyone. Breakouts to new all time highs in this market. You're looking at a bell curve tilted 90 degrees on its left hand side. The center of that bell curve is the volume weighted average price for the benchmark index, the S&P 500. So we're representing it here using the SPY, the ETF. Now, above the VWAP, there are half standard deviation increments to let us know when we are very far away from normal. And when we're at that 2 standard deviation marker, which is that thick red line that I'm tracing, we are indeed very far away from normal. Now, there's one of two things that typically happen in this territory. We tend to trend in a range between the 2 and the 1.5 standard deviation area and continue to rise, or we go parabolic. Those are the two most common outcomes initially in a market that has broken above resistance and is in no man's land. We're in new price territory. Now, the obvious is mean reversion back towards the center of the bell curve that you see on screen here, tilted 90 degrees on its left-hand side. However, we've got patterns from a technical toolkit that's been developed over decades by champion trader, 33-time winning trader Rob Hoffman, for international, domestic, on-site, real money trading competitions. The only one that we know of that has been able to do this. Now, he's developed a toolkit that's going to give us some insight on, are we more likely to take advantage of the first and second idea here where we trend higher or go parabolic, or are we more likely to mean revert? Let's get right into that now. You're looking at 4 indices here. You're looking at the Russell using the futures, the Dow, the S&P, and the NASDAQ. Now, we were just looking at the SPY a moment ago. It's the benchmark. The reason we've got other indices here is to understand the intermarket relationships, and we know that the Qs contain the heavyweight stocks. A lot of them are in the SPY, and the idea here is, what's the signal to support up versus that mean reversion? Now, the up could be either parabolic or it could be a trend that is organized. The down would likely be a harsher one, indicated on the Russell buy zone that is not expanding. So that's a little bit negative. The Dow buy zone that is actually expanding. That's the champion cross buy zone. When we look at the NASDAQ and the S&P, we can see the opaque green zone expanding. What does that mean? We are in a increasing or resuming trend area. And what that means to me, after we've used the Champion Trend Pack Toolkit, we are resuming a sequence of signals, and we're in the first stage of it. The first stage includes expansion of that opaque green zone, as you can see on both sides. Now I'm going to reduce the time frame on all of the charts to a 4-hour time frame. What this will do for us is give us a closer capture over the next several days what is likely to happen with price. And what you can see, especially if you've been watching videos just like these over the last several days, is we have evacuated sell signal states, except for the Russell. And that does pose a little bit of a negative divergence or a dark shadow, if you will. However, the Dow is on a bullish breakout. The S&P, the NASDAQ. We have moved from red to green after putting in a bottoming process near market all-time highs. This is a bullish pattern. Now, if we go too far too fast, the problem is we run out of gas. As of right now, I can tell you that we are in a sequence of signals where there are 3 stages. Stage 3 is the expansive stage. It's where we get these breakout forecasters, the dashes that I'm pointing to, where we can make bigger price moves with less bars. But it also does include the simple insight where if we see an absence of breakout forecasters for 2 to 3 bars, and we end up getting some bearish crossovers of very fast-acting moving averages, like the speed lines, well, the sequence is over. So far, the sequence is on and has not actually changed. Fast speed line remains above the slow. That's the blue versus the magenta. And the current 4-hour bar for the S&P E-minis does actually have a breakout forecaster. along with the prior bar having a champion trend and a champion cross buy signal. This is a bullish signal state that includes the potential to back test from 58.35 down to 58.10, but likely then bounce back up again. That is a potential risk. The more likely outcome is follow through to the upside. The biggest challenge area, something that we've come up to already, and it's right around the 58.50 area to the 58.60 area. The expectations would be to see a slower move higher in tomorrow morning's market. However, we've got big data coming out tomorrow, CPI data. The inflation print is coming out tomorrow, and that's a wild card. We know inflation's come down. We know that inflation is being treated where if it comes in at the consensus or under, we've got a bigger reward than if it comes in over the consensus and warmer. We end up not seeing the market being punished as much. This leaves me in a state where it's a higher probability to see a rise that may not be able to sustain into the end of the week and likely doesn't. But a higher high and then a pullback is what the indications would support. In its very simple format, you've got a toolkit here that is affirming the bullish breakout to new all-time highs and asserting the potential for slightly higher highs, but in that itself, it's also saying, be careful. It's likely short-lived. Now, if you like the very clear, straightforward insight that I've just provided you, we are doing the biggest and the best Wealth 365 Summit that we've ever done, starting on October the 14th. Go to joinzia.com and get your seat right now. Get the goodies ahead of the event. Get yourself situated, because what you're going to be hearing from me and a plethora of incredible speakers that you voted on, you curated with us to get the right content that matters to you, is their strategies on how they're putting money into the market now in this transitory phase up to election and onwards. I can't wait to share with you all of my insight. Folks like Laurie Jones, Ted is going to be joining us, fan favorite. He's going to be making an appearance and sharing his insights. And Rob is going to be doing training that he's never done before. It's going to be the best and biggest and one event into the end of the year that you can't afford to miss. Have an incredible rest of your day. Go to joinzia.com, get yourself registered, and we'll see you there and in videos just like these. Have a wonderful rest of your day.